Because they all shore fish right there. And unfortunately, it was just full of garbage. Oh my gosh. And old rods and that was like in the water.
Maybe we bring an extra pen. I do. I see one right there.
I'm on. I stole it from Jeff earlier, so. Oh, sure. Yeah, forever. Yeah.
Anyway, he talked about, I just want to find a spot where they have to sit, like top of mass, they have to sit and make arrowheads. Because you know they can only go 1 out of 10, correct? So it must be a tip or something.
You're rolling out there. Fishing's good, I think, huh? Yep.
But they do a good job to get that. As long as it's not just, you know,
They can do wonders. It's amazing what they. Yep. Been there forever. Yep.
what happens with the quality here? Nobody once always was there.
No. What's that?
I'm not sure why that was there.
Yeah. Well, good evening. We're going to get going with the working session at about 6:05 this evening. Be patient with me tonight. You all know I'm hard of hearing to begin with, but I have water in both of my ears today. So if I'm talking loud or looking and nodding, I'm going to try to pay attention, but I'm a little hard of hearing. What? No, that is my bad ear over here on this side too. But we'll get going. We'll start with the Citizens Forum. I don't think I see anybody that's signed in for that or has made a request. So with that, we'll go right into the board committees, starting with the policy committee.
How do you feel? We broke our 50 minutes. Also, part of that is the policy for student attendance. Excuse me. I went in to try to fit in the number of days for different types of absences and tardies, and what we have in current practice did fit well with the form. So I kind of cut and paste and typed in my own stuff. So this is really a draft form for the first meeting. I've already met with some elementary staff who are looking at elementary stuff, so we'll be tweaking parts of it. And some scribbling on here that I'm going to hand over for me tonight. So the first meeting is a good opportunity to look through policies, and if you have recommendations or concerns or thoughts, that's why we have 3 meetings. if you get them to me before August 7th, I will take them and send them to the policy committee. And we'll use some of that time to get this edited and revised for the second meeting. And as an addendum to this, we'll also have the high school letters, and there's some letters that are sent from the Yep.
Having read through it, there was only one spot that was highlighted, in bold phrases, student law, that sort of went out to the, like, digging the student. Is that right, is it, or is that what it is? So that seems to be really.
That's pretty good, that's pretty good, yep.
And then you had a list of excuse, definitions, and actions.
Yep. That is not new, but it was not included in the policy. It is actually, in the handbooks, and I just thought that was a quick and easy way to put that in there. It's not all inclusive, but covers most of it.
That's the kind of thing you have to teach you up and say, this is what happened, and you say, this is what decided.
Yeah. Yeah. As part of the policy, unexcused or unverified absences is a truancy. But we have a policy that we want to in school, and once they hit, that 90% mark, within 17, 18 days, the state will identify as chronic absence, and that's excused and unexcused combined. So as far as the policy, I said, the failure policy stuff, that's based on all absences. That can be based on school. 60% unexcused and 100%. Yep. But the unexcused is the unverified. With the authority.
Anything else on the policy committee? Moving on, we'll, go to the school forest committee. Okay. Moving on, we'll
I know what happened. Me and I and Eileen met. We went over, feedback for the team. We completed that.
You had a chance to get out there and talk to us.
Read it out there. You guys it out.
anything else?
That's all I can remember.
There you go. Third one, MSCA negotiations update.
Basically, we met with them, I don't know the date, and negotiated, and we have another meeting scheduled for August 20th.
Okay. Finance committee?
Finances. I think it was pretty.
Yeah, we talked about the auditor proposal, as far as possibility of changing our name for a few years. The report's not here yet. Should be soon.
And I think they're with changing, they were gonna look at finally get a proposal letter, or re-engagement letter, and
a nutshell why we heard from you.
Oh,
Okay.
somebody else has.
I mean, sooner or later, we're gonna address that in the meeting.
Yep.
right?
Yep, well, as you all know, we've had some, qualified opinions ongoing. Last year, there was a lot of frustration. We ended up not getting it done. So that was frustrating. Auditors can't come in and tell you what to do. What their duties are. But we do need to try to rectify and get some suggestions. Clean up some things that have been ongoing, especially with the payroll. So,
And that's where the frustration came in, just too, and the fact that they weren't getting the personnel that had previously been sent, and I don't know, the other reasons, which seemed reasonable.
so I've been in contact with Derek at IMDA, and I think we're gonna get, part of it maybe for the increased cost, and try to get more solutions, and more people here and more time, and help clean up some errors that we made a number of years ago, that's just kind of people leaving. So I just think it's just been an ongoing thing, it's popping up, and then using fresh eyes to help us try to clean it up.
And there are 4 people on site for 4 days versus the 2 people on site for 2 days, and then having to do everything else in 1 day. It's just a whole lot easier, more accurate, and a better learning experience for Cindy and Crystal if they're here in the building and they find that everything is okay. Just works a little bit extra to have it done.
And I believe it was Laurel and
Greenwood.
Interesting perspective, because you guys have always had in that office, and it's a very stressful couple of days when that's going on, so now you're running double the number of days of that stress.
But it always used to be 4 days, 4 people, and 3 or 4. And then that stopped about. But I guess what I feel from the perspective, the difference between 2 and 4 days, is if you have 4 people for 4 days, you're getting all the issues that they bring up resolved before they do. You know, they're looking at something, reviewing it, you're saying, okay, well, this work, I'm gonna do this, and then it's resolved and done, and you don't have to try to settle those issues over the phone, scanning and sending that both of them.
And it might be a thing too, though, they're here for 3 years, and you're not personal, you put on fewer days and less on site. I guess that's my biggest thing. We've needed more help the last few years, especially for the turnover, and I don't feel we've been getting that.
So I think the committee agreed that we should look into it, and that's our recommendation to the board, is, let Jeff searching out this other group.
And actually, it's nothing that we need to advertise for bids or anything, except for the financial limits.
Good. Anything else on the finance committee? All right, Superintendent, elementary principal Jeff Nelson.
Okay, office restructuring, we had a retirement at Anderson Elementary. We're proposing some restructuring and some job assignment, reclassification, stuff like that. We're adding, on your agenda tonight is Brent Cole for community education and enrichment coordinator. And last year he was the assistant community education and enrichment coordinator. So we changing roles and duties within that office. We can take over more of those duties. And we've made some adjustments in the enrichment coordinator, so that's a 40% position. Last year was 60%. And then also, we're proposing that we combine the Marsh coordinator and the assessment coordinator into one position. And we're going to leave most of it internally. There's some internal candidates that we should consider first and we qualify. It's not a new position or an added position, but it's structured a little bit. The assessment coordinator duties, supervision with test classes and stuff with that job description. So we're going to get an application for that. You guys, in your packet, I think, these are sample job descriptions we met this morning, and so combining, giving it a overall job description. There's just a sample business development coordinator, and the Mars coordinator positions. And they're quite in-depth positions. Mars coordinator is probably the most important job in the world. Person identifying cold kids, and that's what drives our funding, so we want to make sure that we have good people doing my job and send funding.
What's the realignment overall as far as the number of bodies? Are we increasing or maintaining?
Where will Mars in the
Kind of
session?
decreasing.
Well, we're not hiring elementary secretary. He did, depending on the duties and the time of the day, he just needs to have to cover those offices. I did meet with the SCA staff today, and we're rewriting the job descriptions, so they're looking at elementary school secretaries, proposing that we combine that to an office secretary, and that's part of the MSBA union, the board position. So there will be some times where we'll have office secretaries in those offices. That'll be more of a traditional attendance, lunch count, and stay at home type meeting. And we'll just not so other administrative type meetings. I think down the road makes sense.
So we'll have to hire an office secretary to do this, or do we have someone on staff?
Right now, I'm planning on using current staff to man the offices.
Okay. That's, I just wanted to
Yep,
make sure that's clear.
yep. And with the restructuring and cleaning up the job descriptions, it might be a combination.
Right,
I mean,
right.
as far as the classification or paraprofessional secretary, office secretary are all kind of on the same.
They're all in that equal category.
Yeah. And in a small school, this is where lots of happen. So I can actually envision someone working in the media center and something in the office, and someone doing special ed para for part of the day, and maybe in the high school office part of the day.
Does that office position, does the secretary position currently have your dedicated additional tools, such as paraprofessional tools? Or is it just on pair? Just on pair. So then that might be an issue for you,
The language in the negotiation.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, that's just something to think
Well,
about.
I think.
We said no, but I mean, they're not gonna just want to go up there. $16 an hour for working out. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. That's something I could look at again. I could look.
Do you feel you have some people on the staff who can handle the assessment coordinator position right now? I mean, it seems like that's something I remember about a year ago, we had a failing on that, right?
Yep.
It didn't go well.
Yep.
But
Well,
you,
some of those duties I gave on, and with us, it's concerned I'm going to show Jack and Kelly. So, no, I think we can, there's training that we state does, just more back and forth, let's say this. But I think some of the board has a time for some time. A lot of the trainings are got into trouble. That's what we have. But we didn't have
But do you look at taking like a teacher?
some districts do use certified staff for that. And if you look at other districts, it's all over the some people use community ed directors, maybe adapt, you know.
You don't need a teaching certificate, but it helps you just to see the training.
Training and the authority is more. Any other questions with that? So that's a board action is just to give you direction to post it internally, job description out. So that's an action item. Next I have is the superintendent's evaluation. I'm just gonna suggest that maybe we get one or two or at most 3 board members on the subcommittee and get the process started. Have some suggestions. As far as setting goals, for the I want to borrow some things from the NCA model. I think is lacking right now. I just think if we get that committee together and share that, and committee can decide.
That's something we wanna do right now. Could get that committee together, I think it's time. I'll go on that. Somebody, any other volunteers?
I didn't know you had what I did for the previous evaluation.
So maybe we can meet and get a process and format in place, and then probably do that.
Do you have to do it each, or do we just have the certified associates? Just 2 enough for, it's well to have certified associates.
I think all the boards will have.
Right, I know, but, I mean, you know, I don't think that's maybe too many to do.
No.
You know, because then if someone can't attend, then you still have 2 people.
Yes, and that's probably fair. In the past, we've tried to make it all 6 board members, and make it somebody else. So we start going on 3 and 6.
Right.
So we'll get a date maybe at the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
Just put it down, because otherwise we procrastinate for about a month and a half.
Summer camp update, second week of July 15th, and New Year, 73 kids to 61 kids. Over in the 90s and 100s of them in the past, but we generally have it in the first weekend, or the first week of summer camp is usually attendance is the best, and then we kind of lose the kids. We'll send out surveys to parents and evaluate and sign for.
We have to look at it as 73 kids from our side school, still 5. You know, it's a percentage of kids. And that difference between 73 and 100 can be we had a couple of big class sessions that went through when we initially started this. Some smaller ones.
Probably more elementary than high school,
It's
or?
mostly elementary. We had probably 4 to 7 kids working on cutting part of that.
I do appreciate they put, Facebook updates. I saw that too.
It's fun, kids enjoy it.
Do we have, a lot of the instructors, I know we had some new ones this year that kind of jumped on board, and I talked with them, and they were real satisfied with how it went. Not like teaching here and the thing, it's a lot, it's a little,
A lot more relaxed.
yep.
And
Do we ever have trouble getting enough staff, I mean, with that number of kids, or?
no, the tricky part is because it's funding based on headcount and it's a short period of time. So basically what happens is we have a number of kids we need for the existing staff. And if we have 10 kids not show up, what we've had to do is we have some staff. They're aware of that. So they can move on and kind of have a plan, right? With sanitary, we have to count them, so not as many staff on board as those funding will cover it. So that's the only downside. Even it out over time, We have 5 staff for most of the days. So look out, it's a commitment. But no, we haven't had problem meetings.
Good.
And then we'll continue with the freshwater stuff, throughout the year, food enrichment. And the last thing I have is we gave it on tonight, so we passed on some information. For buildings and grounds, the state fire marshal was here to do a follow-up inspection on Tuesday the 17th. And all of his concerns were dealt with and completed, and with special thanks to the teaching staff for addressing all issues in the classrooms and custodial staff for correcting all other building issues. Arena update, they're asking all staff students to be extra cautious next week, and they will be bringing in a lot of semi-loads of wall panels on Tuesday, and letting them come in. It's fun to watch them setting the walls, but everyone needs to stay clear and stay out of the area that have been blocked off. Because the usual activities at school can continue. Transportation update, the state patrol was here on Monday the 16th to do an annual bus inspection. Very few minor infractions were noted and have been corrected. All of the buses passed inspection. We do not need to set a date. We do need to set a date to set up for transportation committee. We need to go over the state to go over something from the state department. And that's all we have. I don't know if we want to try to set a transportation meeting and go over sections from
Because you have people, just different people going inside the confines of that building, or building,
Not that I've been made aware of.
just leave
I
that
think
out.
just kind of a warning, I guess, or a cautionary thing, so I'm not heard any instruction to go on it.
Anything else, Mr. Nelson?
That's all I have.
All right, we'll continue on with the Activities Director, Mr. Hazelton.
Girls hockey, the activities committee, we met, I guess it was a couple months ago, and we talked about the girls hockey, and said that if we could get 5 participants from Lakewood Woods registered and paid before the August board meeting, that we'd be in support of going ahead with the girls co-op international balls. So that's kind of where we are. We'd like that to be approved today for that deadline. And we'll start getting information out to the parents and letting them know that if you want this, this is what has to happen. We do need to set a fee. Do we just go with the boys' fee is of $150?
For us, I would think so.
Yeah. I would say that's what it would be. Yeah, so it would just be $150, the same fee as the boys' hockey, and they need to be registered and paid in advance to get that commitment that you want to do this. Lake of the Woods students, not Rainy River. But that was what it'd be, so that would be before the August board meeting. I will contact everybody that I have information for, and then I can do an all-call too. I can do a school reach too. So,
Off the top of your head, do you think we have 4 or 5 young ladies?
I got 4.
Okay.
There had been 5.
There had been 5. I've got 4, 2 upper class girls, sophomores, junior, and then 2 7th graders.
In fact, we lowered it down to 5 from 7. And it was because we thought we had 5. But we need, ignoring what Rainy River has, like leaving them out of the equation, it's like, we have 5 girls from our school who are willing to do it.
And if we do end up getting kids from Rainy that want to come on board with us, that would be just bonus, so we charge them their fees.
We'll have to figure that out, because this is different from them co-oping with us. Technically, they are co-oping with eyeballs as well. So
Technically, we're both co-oping with International Falls because they are the hosts.
Yep.
So it's not really a co-op with us.
Exactly.
And our fee would be to charge them for our ice time and our clothes and our transportation. So we'd be trying to remove some of that.
Yeah, is it contingent on those 5 girls remaining in the program, or do we pull ourselves out of there?
Well, it's a 2-year commitment. So once we form this co-op, we don't necessarily have to send somebody every year, but I mean, we're committing to 2 years of international calls.
Yeah, there's commitment-wise, there's very little commitment. Co-oping with eyeballs, it's like a $90 fee or something like that.
Yeah, it's just registering for the sport.
Yeah. Now, that does beg the question, though, what happens if we fall below the number 5, and I don't know if we can necessarily discuss that, but.
Well, the hope is that after this year that it'll grow and get another couple. I know my wife had a conversation with one young lady who was an 8th grader this year going into 9th grade, and she said, well, I don't know if I want to play with international club. I don't know if it'll be enough competition for me. So, but if we do that, if we do the co-op, then she won't have the option to play with the boys. She'll have to.
Exactly, that's, what I was gonna double check with that too, I think we discussed that again.
Because once we start this,
Yeah, if we co-op, then the girls will have to co-op with eyeballs, they don't get the choice.
they couldn't play with the boys. Or practice.
Remembering that the 4-year-old kind of probably the discrepancy between top and bottom in terms of talent level in that girls team these last couple of years is big.
Yeah, and that's why going into it, we know that most of our girls are gonna play JV. And that's what they said at the meeting that they had here, is that they're looking to fill those JV levels right now, because that's where their numbers are weakest. And to hopefully bring them up to speed so that in 2 years, when this group of kids that they have right now graduates, that our girls will be able to be varsity caliber with them.
You're not saying that if we have one at
Yes.
Alabama,
Yeah.
we're gonna JV,
No.
they will be programs.
Yeah. Yes.
Just keep in mind, most of the ones we're talking about here are 7th and 8th graders.
7th, 8th graders, or, we have one girl that's probably varsity caliber right now. And she would be the only one who would probably crack the varsity lineup. Any other girls from our school, and I don't know about Rainey, but from our school would be JV, the first year or 2 probably.
And that'd be eyeballs, so.
Yeah. That's what that is, that's the recommendation from the activities committee.
So if you have that on the agenda under old business, I don't have any action for it, do we need to, what action is this that is stated in the minutes that the instruction will conduct? Will hockey sign up?
Yeah.
That must be the action.
Yeah, I think it's on board action.
Yeah, this is what we're required to have, we're gonna make the requirement to have.
And then at the August meeting, it'll be one way or another. We either have the 5 and we approve it, or we don't, and it's based on the report that comes in.
And it'll be signed up, not promised to sign, not,
It's
done, paid for.
because if you back out, then you are not getting a refund. This is a non-refundable if you decide not to play.
And of course, the reason for that is just to make sure everyone's serious who signs up.
Because of the commitment that we have to make as a school.
Yeah.
In order to do this.
I think that sounds good. Fair to the girls who want to play, it does work.
Because there would be,
Right?
and there would be ice time to be figured out, there'd be coaching to be figured out, and there'd be transportation that would have to get figured out. So, not inconsequential, and that's why we try to require it.
Make it girls hockey team, is that what we need?
So I have a motion by, second by athletic director to conduct sign up for girls hockey with a minimum requirement of 5 athletes registered and paid by the August board meeting. Activity fee will be $150.
From making the rules. Not having the year again.
Yeah. Like,
Yes.
so tell me this, someone from Rainy River, who's at the board.
Okay.
Number one,
I will write it and we'll read it.
Yep, that'll be under new business.
It'll be under old business.
Yeah, if there are money there. Correct.
Okay, discussion of girls hockey, I see where we had it there, but we're just gonna add that on.
Right there, yeah.
I'll read that when we approve the agenda.
Are we gonna have to hash out, say we get the 5 girls, so we would be set, we would still be co-oping with High Falls for, what was it, 2 years?
Yep.
Regardless. Do we need to set a policy next year, say drop below 5, would we continue, or?
That would just be on our end of the program, so if we don't have 5 girls, we just don't offer it, and then they'd have to have another year where they wouldn't be able to play at all. So they wouldn't be able to play with the boys, and then after that second year, we could dissolve the co-op.
Or they can transport themselves to High Falls for their practice.
They could go to High Falls every day for their practice, and do that even if we didn't support it, as long as they called someplace.
I guess everybody concur with that, not maybe necessarily policy, but I mean, that's kind of the writing on the wall, it should be a policy. She's making stuff up. Everybody believed her.
27th would be the last Monday in August. Fourth Monday.
Is that okay? No, check this out.
That'll be under, old business?
Nope.
What? What's that?
Old business A.
Old business, got it, and then just read that for a motion. Okay.
And
Anything else, Mr.?
All right, we'll move on to the fall sports. So fall sports start in 3 weeks. We're gonna have our fall sports meeting on August 2nd at 6 o'clock in the auditorium. We have all of our coaches in place and pending. We interviewed for cross-country today, offered pending the accepting of the resignation of the previous coach and the approval of the current one. Otherwise, everything is set, their schedules are good to go. I'll be meeting with the coaches prior to the meetings, talking practice schedules, getting everything online. Big change this year for a lot of people is gonna be the online registration and payment is only gonna be accepted online. If they absolutely can't pay online, they'll have to come in and do the registration and pay directly after registration. Because I have to turn on the cash option in order for them to register. They're not gonna be able to complete registration. Meeting with the coaches, I've already talked to some of them, that if the student is not registered on the first day of practice, they do not allow them to play. Talking with Crystal and previous business managers, collecting fees has been an issue. This should be a way to help alleviate that. Making it that you have to pay and register at the same time. All forms, except for the physical forms, are all online. Everything is in. Coaches don't need to collect any forms. The system tracks Family Max. So they have 2 kids that play in the fall, 2 kids that play in the winter. Their spring sport come register, they don't have to pay anything. It'll come up that way right away. But the biggest part is going to be the parents are going to have to figure out that I can't just go in and register.
When's the earliest?
I will turn it on the day of the sports meeting.
Okay.
Wow, it's actually on right now. So if you want to go in and register, you can go in and register.
Do the guinea pig and see if it works.
It should all be up and going right now. Schedules are all online, yeah. Same North Border Conference. If you wonder activities, you go to athletic calendar, they're all on there. And then from that athletic calendar, you can go in, you can sign up and subscribe to different things. The only thing that's not on the schedules right now is practice schedules. And those will get on once we meet with the coaches and make a decision.
Handbook coming.
We still need to meet. So, yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much all I've got, I think. Any questions?
With that, on that August 2nd, and that's when you have kids are gonna sign up?
Yeah, that's when we get the parents in, tell them all about all the policies, procedures, Minnesota State High School League rules, regulations, explain, go over the activities registration piece of it, break out into smaller sessions with each individual sport, and we'll go over that information. Practices all start on August 13th.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Moving on, we'll do community ed and food service, Mr. Cole.
Well, we had a pretty successful baseball softball season this year. We had 11 registrations in T-ball. Only 9 for 7 to 8-year-old rookie baseball, but we had 38 for 9 to 12-year-old baseball. And we visited 3 Rickman games. Lake Community has Porto and Roseville, and had a couple tournaments involved there. The teams did well. I've heard nothing but good things. We won a lot of games this year. And for our 7 to 10-year-old rookie softball, we had 9 registrations, 12 for the 12U softball, and we had older 18U softball. Prior to this game, we had lost some players. But all in all, we had 79 students playing either baseball or softball this summer, which I thought was fantastic. And every one of them is either 12 or younger. So looking forward, I think we need to start working on those older kids. I wanna get 13-year-old baseball set up next year and maybe run that age all the way through until, maybe over in high school for summer ball, as well as we need to get, 18U and 10U softball. Good girl. But, I thought we'd take a big step in the summer. Thanks to our coaches, got Andy Pearson, Aaron Taney doing T-ball, Chad Hissington, did girls, Brian Nord, Todd Canfield, Nick Anthony, and Jeff Bergman did the Ripken ball, Kara Brecky, Kenzie Davidson did softball. So if you see these guys, thank you. All those volunteer work, did a great job. Some things we need to work on, there's some bugs, communication is the main one. I'm thinking I'm gonna write something up to give the coaches, just for a plan of what's expected for communication, to get information with the parents and players on rainy days, or if you're gonna want to move the practice somewhere else inside or something. We'll have to work on that, get some of the bugs figured out. Up next, we got basketball camp. It doesn't have very many registrations, and talking with CC today, they might mix it. Volleyball camp is coming up as well. Dead Plus is going to go out in early August, and we're working on cross country volleyball and flag football in September. I'm thinking for flag football, we do 2 or 3 days a week with their 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th grades. And I found through the NFL, there's a program where for $25, you can get a jersey with an NFL team on it, flags, and every 5 registrations we get a football. So maybe charge $25 a kid, and it's going to cover us for all of our material we're going to need to run it, and we can just keep that stuff for the next year. So we can build off that. And also, they're going to like to see the actual NFL logo on yours too. So, fair question.
What do you attribute the jump in numbers to?
The excitement of playing with other teams, going over the zone. I think that is the biggest part, because Coach Bersham's, his team, there was 3 guys that played 7th grade baseball, but none of the others even played an active baseball game against another team. And I think just them getting to go out and play an actual game was a big deal.
And the amount of parent support we felt was amazing. I mean, we had 10 kids on our team, and there was, I think we played 18, 19 games from Crookston to Bemidji we were playing teams from Bemidji, Fargo, all over, and having these 10 kids, there was one game, I think, where we only had 9 kids. I mean, every kid was there, and we felt a lot of good support from the parents and the kids and everybody. It was pretty rewarding for everybody, I think. And they had some fun. And they got to beat Warroad a few times, so.
They outdrew my varsity team in attendance by quite a bit.
Yeah. That's always a good plus, you know.
Anything else?
There was a lot of activity down in the ballpark in the evening. There were a lot of, 30, 40 kids there every night.
I know the big field was filled out for all weekend this year. All the smaller fields that the young kids were ready to play. So.
Yeah, we picked up some good kids from here. So, anything else? Thank you, Mr. Cole. And Cece's not here, so thank you. So, we'll go from there. Any questions, comments, concerns?
You have a few minutes to do it.
Sure.
You're talking about voting.
Yeah.
talking about the meal price raising?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anybody's gonna say no or anything, but I just verbalize it, so we can get in the paper and see how it discuss it next week.
You want this on?
Just come on, you do this for me.
So I asked this week that she went in and told, raised the different school districts. She just let me know how to raise the, prices for breakfast, especially if you have all years. They raised the, a little bit. So, we just took into account the fact that prices are going up. We can increase a little bit, and we're not talking. Yeah. Yes, and still have an application and send out the application. Yeah, they said that what they are going to do. Yep. We still need to have our lunch, breakfast, break, if you're not all get paid. So that's like what he's done. This isn't what we're gonna be reimbursed today. Yeah. We don't get to set that number. They set that number for us. Yeah. If we could do that, then I would.
It is very modest. I mean, we go on 5 cents, 20 cents, 20 cents.
Oh, no, I just wanted to make sure that what they were.
Do you have those numbers available to you, Woody?
They'll be in the pack. You got it after I sent it? Just email me.
Anything else under the working session?
We want to do the substitute ones and one potatoes. We do that.
Okay, well, I mean, sometimes I try to, we've had my fault already. So at that point, we just go around to the district, words, even at the time, but then actually, parent got my attention to have to have a then increase for several years. So I actually went back and records, and the last time that substitute teacher pay was increased was in 10 years ago. So, and recently we have increased sub rates for airlines, OEMs, bus drivers, to make it competitive and make some more. So basically at that point in time, we were at approximately 75% of the daily rate of a VA step, so minimum teacher payment. That's the percentage you're at, so we basically went with that, and that's one of the long-term days, we use it, and then $100 for any experience, which would be a teacher who has, less than 60 days earned. Once you get that 60 days earned, you won't get experience training. I would recommend, was there any discussion about the length of the days of service? I guess that's a lot of days of service. Yeah, it's actually at 60 days in addition to 60 working days. Yes. Yeah. I mean, so if we want to discuss that further.
Would most of our teachers, I mean, I'm assuming we have a core of substitute teachers that'll be at that maximum level?
Yeah, I mean, right now, most of our teachers are there. new ones to come.
Sure.
They would start at a lower rate, so we wanted to look at that. Or I think just the whole substitute.
The $100 for somebody who's doing the first day, there's an expectation of their day schedule. They're here for as many periods as, let's say, Mike Mahara's not here for the day. They're expected to take every one of his classes or just the ones. Minimum 4 hours. So.
Also, right now, you're guaranteed a half day. So if you come in and do work an hour, you still get paid for a half day. You work 6 hours and you get paid.
100 seems, it sounds like he loves to talk about it, but it doesn't seem like a lot of money.
Well, they've been at 85, that's really above minimum wage.
Get rid of that?
Yeah, it was 85. I
Per hour?
no problem saying it.
That seems to make the most sense.
It's just
You know, I
unfortunate. I have no problem with that at all.
Well, I think 60 days is awful long time. Or, you know, you might want to say 10 days.
Well, and the
you know,
truth of it is, if you're not doing a good job,
you're not going to call them back, you know.
So there was a lady from and she called the house last year. And I told her about this. She said, I can get somebody in Portland and I don't have to work for 60 days. Right. So,
Well, that's a long time to wait. It might be 2 or 3 years before.
It would be years, I mean, to have a,
You know,
and then she said, she was so scared he was going to like this year. And I would think we want to encourage the younger people that would like to do some of the time, you know, because they do bring interviews to the district, they do bring, you know, possibilities long term. So,
what is Warwood pay?
I didn't call like recently. I think a lot of students have one subject. I don't know. I don't think it's common to have two. It never used to be anyway. You're one of the only ones that has it. You know, different friends. But they only have one rate, right? They don't have two.
Our top rate is in line and now we're currently at 5%.
Well, supply and demand, too, right? I mean, I imagine it's more available than it is.
And a lot of our students have they've been coming here for a long time.
That's why they're on.
Or not the second rate, just for the one rate.
Just what I want.
And I'm not sure if there was a reason after.
I hate
Or
to,
even quick.
but I hate to not reward that licensed person as opposed to just finding somebody sort of finger in the bed for the day. And you've got 147, it's now a good thing. I think we're stretched out in the middle. I look at it and say, I guess my knee jerk is I'd go to 120 when the bottom is in 147 on the top. Maybe from your perspective, you say, God, it's a pain in the butt to try to keep all that straight. So I'm probably looking at short sighted.
But to me, if you're an experienced shuttle over Morrow, and we can have you drive over here. Because that's in the district. So you could have a 30-year teacher retire in Morrow and coming over there. That taking over here, because now they're getting $100. They're not gonna come here. So.
What are we paying the top end right now?
I don't think it's no way to rate. Because that, it is exactly.
How many sub days, I mean, how many days a year, I know this is a tough question, how many days do we have a substitute teacher here? Every day? Is it almost every day?
Oh, let's say for example, and 45 grand.
Okay.
That doesn't include the long-term stuff. Oh, that doesn't include the long-term stuff.
Okay.
So
so 3 on the training, as well.
Did I have that?
Those 75% of the base salary. So we're going from 1.
So that would be policy from now on, just continually walk up the ladder and then renegotiate it roughly.
No, it'll be 147 the next.
Well, it says high end, you know, from the city's perspective, hey, should we compromise and go to 140 for a round number, is that? And then make a one rate on it so that we're pulling the bottom level up and we're actually giving the raise of $15 a day anyway or something. I mean, is that straddling the fence, you know, lean over? I mean, you say $45,000, not cheap. You have 180 school days, if we have a sub every day, you know, multiply that by, what's the difference, $7. So it's not that big, it's $1,000 in this year.
Well, just did the quick math based off the high school numbers that you gave us, proposed increase would be an additional $9,000. Just for the high school. Just for the high school. Yeah, it's really only. Go ahead and throw a number for us.
It's somewhere around like $30,000, like they're pretty comparable.
Okay, so.
$16,000 increase.
Our goal is to attract some new substitute teachers. Is that right? I mean, that's what we're.
We have the budget for it.
I mean, it is, it's like 2 years, but. Behaviors, 7.5 hour day.
Do they usually work the full 7.5 or 8 or whatever it is? Okay. What's the difference between 130 and
Well,
I don't see that as a big enough increase after 10 years. I don't see that as a big enough increase after reading. Not gonna increase.
If we don't have $16,000 in our budget, there's not much we can do about it right now. Means we get Crystal and lottery.
That's a lot. Go from 125 to 150 in 2 years.
Yeah, walk it up
Then you just
this
walk it
year
out
and
here
then
and
next year.
next year.
When we go to 135.
Yeah.
You'd be able to put it in the budget anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an ongoing problem, we've heard about it in the bus garage as well, but you guys have said that for the last 5 years, and what we can do about subs.
well, a lot of times we don't have enough to put on some of them. People, robbing from either baseball or stuff.
Yeah. In our meeting in Turner, that was one of the subject matter they brought up, was voice substitute is a difficult thing, you know, really hard to find something.
And that's not unique. I think we need to do something with the salary. I would recommend that we just engage. One rate, and I would say either we do a 2-year step, or we just go
How about
$135.
$135? That would be, and then the next time. That's enough, that would, if
could revisit in November and you go to 135. It's not like it's a contract negotiation, they can't do anything. If you know by November, October, if you're making any dents in a substitute situation, we could say 135 or, because we're not gonna go back down, it's certainly gonna have to pay for an employee there.
$18 an hour. I was just thinking, I'm gonna push for the higher rate just because it's been 10 years. Yeah. And I just worry like the one.
Say second, go to 130-ish now, and then
And I don't think 130 would be accurate. I mean, that's what I was saying, so that, you're giving them a few cents an hour rate, you're not even getting $1 an hour, that's 10 years. So I don't know. So that's 35. So you're giving them whole. I mean, it's a little bit,
Well, I guess we get the meeting, we make a motion at 135, and see if it passes, make a motion at 140, see if it passes.
Yeah. I wonder what 47 is on the second and block, originally that thing is what, now we don't have to visit it again every year.
yeah, it's not that hard to revisit it though. I say we just, all we have to do is be ahead of War Road and you're good. So, 2 years ago, 120. So. It's like you had a joke with two people running away from a bear. I don't have to run away.
Yeah, and you, part of it is we wanna attract people to that ordinance. And the overall cost fluctuates on the number of days that staff is here. So really, if you wanna save money on, somehow people must be gone so much. Maybe.
Sharon did not. She's gonna deny it.
I just think, I mean, 135 to me makes sense. You're ahead of War Road. It won't blow the budget.
Where we were 2 years ago, we don't know where we're today.
They may have jumped it. That's actually a pretty good sized jump. I would think we'd be at least on par with them by now, unless they went crazy. Doesn't blow the budget necessarily, and you can work into the budget if we want to keep increasing this the next couple of years. Work it through the budget. I mean, if you're getting, that should get us more subs, right? And I guess ask you guys if they do get us more subs.
Can't guarantee it. If you're a sub teacher and you can make more money than you're driving the boss.
Well, can we do more math on this? Why don't we just table it for this meeting and do it again in August? Yeah.
And I think that's a big deal. I think that where we reflect on the other side, I don't want to adopt it at 135, I think we're, the same.
Let's table it then. Get more information.
I think we do need more information. I mean, there's some things that, need to be hashed out. And it'd be easier to decide who's board if we have that information. And like, it's not going anywhere if we do it this month or next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to.
But we really just went that.
Yeah. So we're gonna get rid of,
Yeah,
we're gonna table that one
yeah, yeah.
till, the August meeting?
But again, it's
Also,
look and see
for
through
some kick down the road,
like I said, we were one of the only ones. Why do you do that? I was at something about it.
And his business manager.
Oh, no. Nothing to do.
On that one? Okay. Anything else that we need to discuss on that? If not, we'll close the working session and we will call to order the regular school board meeting of July 23rd with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on, we'll go to number 3, the approval of the agenda. I need a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented with the following changes. Under the consent agenda, add number 1, the appointment of Brent Cole, Community Education and Enrichment Coordinator, 2, the appointment of Jenny Kraus as cross-country head coach. Under old business, we're going to, I'm going to need a motion. I don't think I need to read the motion right now, do I? Under the one that you,
girls hockey.
on the girls hockey. Yeah, and that's under old business also? That'd be under new business, okay. Under the new business, we'll adopt the resolution to accept donation to North Star Electric, the backpack program, direct administration of Posted Mars assessment coordinator position, approval of the first reading for policy 503, the school attendant. Under new business, we will approve the engagement letter for Brady March, fiscal year 18. Also under new business, we need to, that we're going to table the substitute teacher pay increase table till the August meeting.
Is that ideally? Or is it ideally not?
Yeah, mine's crossed out on the,
It's crossed
We
out.
just took that off.
Took that off.
I don't have an engagement letter to,
Okay, no,
so that's just a discussion.
so we're just removing it.
yeah.
Okay.
And I
Remove
will-
F, right?
and I will just bring an engagement letter to
Okay? Oh, okay.
I would make a motion to accept the agenda based on the changes you just made.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion is passed unanimously. Under the consent agenda, I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items as presented. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
How long Patty Birdie been doing this? Long time, at least as long as I've been.
Off and on, cross country. That's Diana Fisher.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion is passed unanimously. We don't have any board presenters or written communications. Under old business, I need a motion and a second to direct the athletic director to conduct registration for girls hockey with a minimum requirement of 5 athletes from the Lakeland Woods School registered and paid by the August 27th board meeting. Activity fee will be set at $150. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Under new business, we've already tabled the next one. I need a motion and a second to approve Johnson Controls contract with the 2018-2020 contract.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Johnson.
Second.
Second by Lyon. Any further discussion?
So that went up $50, isn't it? We got one contract.
Right.
Went up $50.
Yep.
Is that a competitive contract? Does anybody else come in and try to get that, or is that? I'm not sure I could tell you what they do, so I'm asking. I mean, obviously Reed's the one who kind of would say, all right, that's what we need. We probably have this discussion every year and say, is everybody else on?
Nelson, with that is $4,500.
Okay.
So it doesn't go out for bids, but it would probably go out, we probably would come out of but I will check on that.
I'm just curious.
No, it's not competitive.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion is passed unanimously. I need a motion and a second to approve the breakfast and lunch prices as presented.
Make the motion.
Motion by Johnson. I'll make the second by Bertram. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion is passed unanimously. I need a motion and second to approve the agreement with Thule Photography for the 2018-2019 season.
Make the motion.
I'll make the second. Is that a competitive thing? Yeah.
Ever since Brian, Radio Shack and Brian
Last year, Brian had a committee that sent out to a variety
I do remember that.
of stuff in the process of
Yeah.
last year.
I would thinking that's probably less and less of a business with stuff that's, with the new technology of everybody doing their own gigs on that, or more and more of it, I guess.
I bet it's still, I think it's just easier for them to come, they don't have to develop it, they just use digital equipment.
Okay.
And everything else, but still have to get everybody lined up and see how and all that. And all that stuff. I don't know if that's exact case, but
I'm not sure.
Anybody got a word there? Theo? Thoele?
Feel?
we can make up anything we want, nobody will know.
Yeah. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion is passed unanimously. I need a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2018-19-01 to accept the donation of North Star Electric Community Trust Board of $500 toward the backpack program.
Motion.
And I will second that motion. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion is passed unanimously. Which one we remove? I need a motion and a second to direct administration to post the district Mars assessment coordinator position for the 2018-19 school year.
Second.
Second by Lyon. Any further discussion on that?
When it's full, does that mean it's just internal?
Any other questions?
When you say just in training, you said it was gonna be a certain question of training, is that something you would get somebody from outside of the school?
For the training, or?
Even if you found a person in the community, or is that not something you want to pursue?
We'll post it if we don't have a viable candidate within the district, then we'll advertise outside the district.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion is passed unanimously. I need a motion and a second to approve the first reading of policy 503, student attendance.
I would make that motion.
Motion by Lyon, second by Johnson. Further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion is passed unanimously. Any other business that we need to discuss this evening? If not, we will adjourn the July 23rd meeting at 7:25 p.m. Thank you all for attending.